Hello, everybody. This is Sophia Mona Lisa. I'm here today with Carol Billets. And you may recall that we recently had our ceremony on October 23rd for the resurrection point, which is the Venus and Sun coming together in the sky in the middle of the Inanna underworld journey. And we did that ceremony at the Venus Temple in New Orleans. And during the ceremony, we connected all of the 8 Venus temples around the planet that we previously had installed the rose gold Christos Sophia light codes in. We linked them all up. We brought that new light grid online for the new Earth to act as a bridge for people to start to work with the higher densities. And we also reconnected or repaired our 3rd strand of DNA from our divine template to the strand in our physical body here, our sacred vessel, connected them, brought them online. And during that ceremony, Isis, the goddess Isis, was going to step forward and provide us with a message related to that resurrection ceremony, specifically to Inanna being resurrected, each of us, whatever is being resurrected within us as a completion of the alchemical process that we've been going through since Venus descended into the Inanna underworld back in September. That message did not get to take place for its own reasons, which are completely perfect because we know that everything happens in the eternal now. And so here we are today with Carol, who is ready to bring forward the message from the goddess Isis. And I just say in the most humblest way that I can, from the bottom of my heart, how much I appreciate her presence with us today and speaking to us. So Carol, whenever you're ready, go right ahead.
So I will be speaking to Isis because I was told that it is better for human bodies while we're in the 3D to not have the vibrational frequency because it can damage. So I can still have the connection with her, but I will not let her into my body and take it over. I am connecting with her, and then I will just basically relay what she is saying. So it's not the same as channeling because I've been told that can damage 3D human. Maybe when I get up to 5D, I can do it, but so I'm going to let her go ahead and start talking. So we are speaking to you from a non-linear point. I will always speak to you from a non-linear point. Your linear word is 3D. My world is non-linear. It is continual. So I am speaking to you and your source and your higher guides who are also non-linear. And while you have spoken that you activated, connected, and are establishing the grid from a non-linear, everything is present viewpoint, you have connected more than the 3. You have continued connected. You have already in this now time and space that is not contingent on 3D, already established all of the connections, have already awakened all of the matrix. The crystalline has already been connected. In your linear world, you do not see the progression, which is why we have always told you it is more helpful for you to be more focused, be more aware of the non-linear 5D when progressing, when activating, because even as you are activating a 3rd stand, bug flew in the mouth. When you're activating the 3rd strand, even at that time in the be here now all that is present, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th are also activating, are also lighting up. So we say to you that even as you combined all of the temples were waiting for that moment in time to resume their nonlinear flow. As we progress, becoming more nonlinear, learning about more nonlinear, we are able to bring in more of what we don't see in this 3D, if that makes sense. When you were performing the ceremony, it is rippling through time, through space, through vibration, so that even though you're aware of the 3D and you're aware of it going on and continuing, it all, even as we speak in this now time and space, nonlinear has already been activated. So we give you the speaking in the flow of the consciousness. We will always speak to you in the river of consciousness, in the flow of source, because you are in this body in 3D, but your spirit, your source, your high self is nonlinear. We speak to your higher self, to your source that acknowledges a different existence of completion, of activation. And so in speaking to your higher source, your higher self, we remind you that you are being activated in a nonlinear way. Now, you do not have to stay in the 3D activation, for as you progress, you are planning on activating it, but you do not need to stay in this 3D body when we are talking to you, when you're meditating, when you are doing your connecting to your higher self. So as you go forward with Sophia, as you go forward in this group, the one thing we have to say to you is please be aware that even as you are beginning, you are completing. Even as you are going forward, you are finishing. Nonlinear contemplation, existence is where you truly are. In this body is 3D, but your source is nonlinear. And as you remember and allow yourself nonlinear frequency and vibration, the future that is now, that is now, that has been, that is now, the completion is completed. Does this make sense to you?
Absolutely, it makes sense to me. What I'm receiving around this as I'm hearing your words is that while we will continue in this linear time to go through the ceremonial aspects of reconnecting, repairing, reactivating each subsequent strand of DNA, when we gather and travel through our etheric bodies to the Venus temples, we are actually activating in the nonlinear time. And as we're connecting from strand to strand and embodying that connection, that the strands themselves are helping us in our progression to experience the nonlinear through this body. Am I receiving that correctly?
You are receiving that correctly. We are being told to include, we are being told that Sophia is a light source of gold. Isis also says her temple, her housing, her ceremonies were in a gold housing. And the gold of Sophia, and she is showing me a gold portal. The gold that is in correlation to the gold light that comes down from the sun. So there is a correlation. I'm trying to understand the complexity. There is a correlation between the gold light of the sun, the gold light of the portal, the gold light of Sophia, who Sophia is, and what she surrounds her with, and Isis gold of her housing, and our own gold light that we bring with us. And so she is saying to please remind people as they go through the portals that they are increasing and expanding both Sophia's light of gold, both Isis, which is activating gold, and the higher light gold that comes in from the sun. They have a triangle of activated light, and each person has that high sun within them that can help, that can accelerate the process of nonlinear time. So she says, Sophia, Isis, and the sun form a living triangle of expansion and energetic assistance. So even if you remind yourself, or remind people that they are activating not only the light source that comes from Sophia, the light source that comes from Gaia, the light source that comes from the true sun, they are also using this light source to accelerate and increase. And Isis wanted to pass that because she recognizes the gold source of her housing and the gold source of Sophia that she uses. So I'm not sure how that helps you, but she wanted to say that. So I'm not sure if Sophia has gold, but she said there is a gold triangle of the sun, Isis, and Sophia, and they work in a sacred triangle to activate each other.
And that makes sense to me. And it actually reminds me of how I was inspired to name my goddess temple the Golden Ray Center.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sometimes I when I'm listening, I don't know what they're referring to, but you do. So I'm going, okay, so is that what you're referring to? Okay. So as there is, in the same way that you are seeing the Golden Ray Temple, so is the Golden Ray living and alive within you. And so as you connect and expand the Golden Ray Temple, the codes and the light of Sophia, Isis, and the suns are embedded and spread through the teachings. She says she is aware of Sophia and Sophia is aware of her, and they both work with humanity, not as much when she was walking the earth, but she has been called back as humanity is trying to incorporate the higher self and walk on a more linear path. She is more comfortable with interacting with humans that are willing to go forth and expand, which is not the way it was when she walked the earth. And so she is pleased to be here, and she is pleased and will be honored to help. And she says, I'm sorry, she's just like brilliant right here. She's like gold and she's shining, and she's got this encirclet headpiece here. And her hair is like up here, and it's like straight black down here. And I'm sensing that she is coming forth in ceremonial robes. Do you have anything else to say? No, she says she will be working with us. And she says many teachers and guides and teachers that walk the earth are assisting, but they only give forth signs, and it is up to the person to see the signs and go forward. Not every sign as strong as the house falling on Dorothy and the shoes falling up. There are different degrees of signs, and so they use signs to communicate from their nonlinear existence to ours. Okay, does that make any sense? I'm just listening.
It does. It does. And so what she's sharing with us and what it reminds me of is the alchemical teachings that I have been sharing, and the fundamental analogy that I use of this alchemical process that we're all constantly going through is this idea of lead being turned to gold, meaning that the lower frequencies are being transmuted and transformed into higher frequencies, just as lead is a lower frequency metal and gold is the highest, purest frequency of metal. And so to me, it all kind of comes back to this alchemical process that is a part of our soul expansion, a part of our ascension process.
Yes, yes. We are more than humans. So the alchemical process is also a chemical process that has been spoken of, going from one base to a crystalline base. However, the crystalline base is infected, supported by the light of gold and the codes of gold coming down from the sun. That is why gold is so valuable, because it is a reference to the gold and the source and the chemical and the alchemy. And there is so much that gold represents, both in monetary and light and frequency and within each body. And as people are more aware of this, they can use it more, just as one is able to be more aware of frequency and how to increase frequency and manipulate the frequency to a higher source. Because we call it manipulation, because you can choose to sit in front of a TV, or you can choose to manipulate or increase or change the frequency by going out and walking. And just that is a manipulation of your frequency from being fed from a electronic source to being fed from a natural source. And as man wakes up, he will not be feeding as much from electrical and will be nourished more from the light and the gold and what is more natural and healthy for him, if that makes sense.
It absolutely makes sense. And it reminds me even of people who are already practicing the grounding practices of walking barefoot on the earth, of allowing the sun to nourish them through their eyes and through their skin. So I can see how that's going to evolve as people are more accepted of this kind of nutrition, nourishment, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Yes. Okay, there's one last thing she wants to show me, and I'm not sure how to convey it. Some of this stuff doesn't make sense, so I kind of have to just see what she's showing me. So what she's showing me is mankind's progression, but she's showing me through a tunnel. And so for many centuries, man has been in an encased tubing metal tunnel, she's showing me. And she goes, in many ways, man has been encased in a tunnel, some underground, some physically, some mentally, some spiritually. But through hundreds of years, she is showing me mankind has been traveling down a metal encased tunnel. They have gone from being natural and being nourished by the earth to finding fake nourishment or artificial nourishment from metals and electronics. And so for a very long time, she is showing me they are going down this long tunnel, very long, very metallic. It almost rings when you walk through it. It's got that metallic ring. And she says, just as some people cannot see the end to it, there are other people that are learning to extend their ability, to extend their presence, to extend their vibration, so that they are aware of the end of the metal tunnel. What the challenge is now, and will be for a short period of time, is knowing that there is a different existence frequency beyond the metal tunnel that we have been encased in. And it is essential. She's saying it is essential for us to learn how to use our gifts, our tools, our abilities, because we will feel, it will seem like we are not leaving the tunnel. But it is essential that we develop who we are, whatever gifts we have, because that was what will give us the sense, the perception, the ability to see beyond the tunnel. And that will be one of the sanctuaries of sanity, she's saying. The sanctuaries of sanity will be humans and mankind's and the hybrids learning or working with groups to use their natural gifts to perceive beyond the drama, the unbalance, the chaos that is coming. She is showing me dark chaos. However, it's not like it never ends. It's just there for a short time and it goes on. So the people that can use what they have, use what they're developing, will be able to see easily beyond the chaos, easily beyond the darkness, and to have a knowing. She says it is essential to develop the knowing that it is ending, that is changing, that it is shifting. The problem might occur with people that are content with staying within the metal encasing and not using this time to develop who they are and their gifts and abilities and tools, which are essential for your sanity. I don't know why she wanted to say that, but it was very important for her. So that's,
I find
they see things different than we do.
Right. And I don't know if you've watched any of the heart-led conversations that Carolina Grace, one of our other collaborators, and I have been having and recording, but a lot of what she was speaking to there ties in not only to the conversations that we've had, and also to the conversation we're going to have on Sunday that we've already talked about. So I find it fascinating how she's dipping into all of that, knowing.
Well, she sees in a different way than we do.
Yes.
So yeah, you're my main one I talk to. So she knows different stuff than I do. I just literally relay it. Like I said, some stuff does not make any sense that she starts talking to me about. It just doesn't. So I really have to pay attention to what she's saying, because I'm going, what is she talking about? And so I just have to let her talk and say her piece, you know, for her to explain what she's bringing forth. So
right.
Yeah, I believe anyone that uses their higher self, like you, when you channel Sophia, we get a different vibration. We get a more non-linear perspective of events that are going on. And as we become more comfortable, like when you channel Sophia and you help people on this journey, that makes you more comfortable with your true being. And I think we're all kind of finding our true being and our true light, and that non-linear existence is actually more comfortable than this 9 to 5, because when someone is really flowing and really enjoying and really laughing and loving life, there's no time. Exactly. Time changes when you're involved in life. So I feel also from what she's saying, as we evolve, we will find the joy in living non-linear.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. And so I encourage everyone, and you too, Carol, to go back to my YouTube channel, the Roseville Mystery School. Click on the playlist for Heart-Led Humanity and listen to those conversations through the lens of what Isis just shared with us. And I think it'll be fascinating for you.
It's funny how she knows what you've gone through. Everybody that I bring in like already knows what you're going through, and they're like saying stuff and you already experienced it. And I'm like, for me, that's a really big confirmation that they are speaking to what you're already going through.
Right. Exactly. It is. Well, this has been delightful, just absolutely delightful. I guess my only other question would be, during this month of November, while we're waiting for Venus to rise as evening star, which she will do on December 1st, so there will not be a ceremony this month. We will have the support circle because we're completing this Inanna underworld journey. Is there anything about the entire alchemical, shamanic process of this death and rebirth that the Inanna underworld represents that she'd like to speak to for all of us?
Okay. I'm sorry, I never. Okay, it's part of my contract. Repeat what's said. Okay. Okay, so we got to remember that the person I'm listening to or is in front of me is Isis.
Yes.
She says in her frequency, the way to bring about positive coalition and gelling of the events and frequencies that are to go on is to go out at night. Everyone has a connection to the moon, to the night, to the stars. Whether you have been with Isis, whether you have been with whatever master, all masters have used the stars. All masters have used the dark. It is also a time when the electronics and the noise dies down. So Isis is saying, go out to where there's not many people, a place in your yard, but it has to be out where there's ground and there's trees and there's night. She is saying, give yourself permission to invoke your light. Give yourself permission to bring forth the language that interacts, that opens up. Whatever you choose to move, go out in the night, stand, move, however you choose to, however works with you, whether you want to use light language, whether you want to do silence, whether you want to sing to the stars. The quiet, the silence of the electronic noise and mankind. And Isis states she has always done her vision quest at night. Go out with just the intention of opening, expanding. Open your hands, open your face, open your heart. Allow yourself to do, to dance, to be, to breathe. Be active in the night. Dance with the light, sing to the stars. Be night flowing. Just as there's light that comes from the sun, there is a night vision quest. A ability, a time to be just you and the stars and the night. It is a sacred time. There have been times when many women have gathered in the woods and women have gathered in the meadows, or druids have gathered at night. It is a time of sacred ceremony. Find your sacred ceremony. Find what resonates with you during this time. This is a time of going in, meeting, letting go, releasing. The night is perfect. So what we say to you as far as helpful advice, and as Isis that does vision quests in the night, go forth and find your sacred ceremony of the night. This will be most helpful. So she's not saying what to do. She's just saying everyone has their own expression. Everyone has their own way, because she's explaining it. Everyone has different ancestry. Everyone has different lineage. Everyone has different bloodlines. And so what somebody may feel sacred and traditional and expanding won't work for somebody else. So you have to find what is true for who you are at this point in time. Yeah. She says that is essential for any journey, finding out what is true for you at this point in time.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. That's really...
Oh, she says drink lots of water too.
Yes. Yes. Well, and as a person whose soul chart is ruled by the moon, that touches me very deeply.
She's saying, and as she's showing me, because she wanted to say something to you, so I'm just going to repeat it. So this is just for you. Is she's showing me you and with other women, very long hair. You all have woven flowers in your hair and long gowns. Show me what country this is. Ireland. So you're out there in your field and there's a woman beating a drum as you all just very comfortably, very slowly dance. And it's almost like a turning dance she's showing me. And there's someone over on the other side that's playing a flute. And this is a ceremony of the moon goddess, of the female moon, of being female, of following the cycle, of embracing the divine feminine. But yeah, that's other country. And for some reason, way in the background, I'm seeing just little, I don't know if it's summer, but there's like little dots of light, like they beep in and out. And there's no fire. It's just women out in a field with the flute and a drum. And it's just very low key, very comfortable, dancing very slow, very comfortable, a real sense of family between these women. They have a strong bond between them. But how often do they do this? She's saying it is a gateway ceremony. So she's saying for you, in that lifetime, you celebrated the moon in a gateway ceremony. And it was very simple, and it was very loving, it was very family-like, but it was the village woman would go out. And they were all of childbirth age. They all had to be of childbirth age, she says. Either have birth or be of childbirth age. No young people. You had to be beginning the feminine mystique. And to do that, you had to be knowing your cycle and experiencing the cycle of female and experiencing the moon and experiencing how everything affects you as a divine female. So you had a life where you celebrated. And I don't know what the gateway is, but she's saying that was a gateway celebration. And it had to do with the moon, but it was like, she said, just very lovely, just very easy, very going. She's like, it was like beautiful, but it wasn't extravagant. It was just very simple. And you did it during the gateways. And I'm not sure what she means, but she's saying it to you. So I don't have to know what she means, but she said you did it during the gateways.
So my question is, because we call the gate activations of the Venus synodic cycle, when the Venus and moon come together in the sky, those are gate activations. Were we celebrating those through ceremony then?
She says yes. I didn't know what you were talking about, but she says yes.
Yes.
I'm just a middleman. She says yes. Yes. And if you would like, she will send you a sign that is from that time. So she will bring forth the next month, really? She goes, it takes time, whatever. She says in the next month, she will bring forth some physical sign for you.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, it's like, she's showing me the headband and I'm like, I don't know how she could get the headband. And she's like, she'll think of something. But a lot of the confirmation comes, she understands, is if you get some physical confirmation. So she understands the importance of that. But she also says what she works on and what she wants to work on will take some time. So it will take up to a month, but she knows the importance of physical confirmation, she's saying.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm curious because she's showing me different objects that she's considering. So I don't know how she's going to place them in your way, but that'll be a journey for you.
Sure. Let's keep it a surprise.
Oh, no, I can't tell you because she's showing me different things and she's like, she hasn't decided yet.
Okay.
But she says, like anything else, you will know it when you see it. Because it's like, she goes, people don't understand, and she understands why people don't understand. But it's like, you see a cardinal, just because you see a cardinal doesn't mean it's a sign. If you see a cardinal and you get a feeling from the sign, that's what makes it a sign. Yeah. If you see a snake and it's just a snake, but if you see a snake and you get like tingles, like, So just because you see something, unless you get a reaction from it, it's not for you, she says.
Right. I understand how that works. Thank you. Wow.
Because she says it's important that you get the feeling or you get the sensation when you see it. Yeah. Because that's part of the growth, is seeing it and going, that's it.
Yeah.
Can I have one too?
Let's do this. Let's give a big ask. Can everyone who participated in the resurrection ceremony receive a sign from her within the next month?
She says no. Okay. Because everybody is at different places and that everybody will recognize the vibrational sign. And the universe gives everybody signs, but it gives them signs in correlation to where they are. So, and she's honest. She says no.
Okay. Okay. That's fine.
She goes, maybe one other person, but that's it.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's like the caterpillar. I actually researched a caterpillar. There's no caterpillars this time of year.
Right. Let's ask her about the caterpillar that manifested, and you had received a message that the fairies sent it.
Yes. Well, it was a golden caterpillar too, which was bizarre, and it had those little black eyes. Okay, so what about the caterpillar? She's like, that was from Lilith.
Oh, wow.
She's like, she enjoyed it. She thought it was a lovely sign, but that was from Lilith.
Okay.
Because Lilith has to do with empowering and strengthening the femininity. So there are different vibrational frequencies that different teachers work with, and Lilith is strengthening female intuition and their natural strength that is just starting to be activated for some women. So she will do stuff just to like wake up. Right. She's saying wakey wakey in the background. So that's Lilith. Lilith loves putting something forth and seeing if you get it. That's what she's saying.
Yeah. And of course, Lilith is such a huge part of this project because, you know, she came forward, I think it was in April and May, and said that she would be joining us in these activations. And so the fact that she made herself known at that resurrection point is really very, I can't find the word for it. Just validating, I guess, that, you know, she had already told me that she would be participating with us.
Yeah, they actually enjoy seeing if we get the signs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fabulous.
So they say they're both hanging out here. I don't know. Okay, so this is really weird because Isis is in full ceremonial garb and Lilith is literally in like chill clothes. She's like she just like came off Sunday from the beach. She's like literally chilling. But they both say that they are there for the ride. And okay, I'll say that. As mankind expands, so does their own self. So everything they can do to help mankind and help us up in our expansion helps their expansion, which I guess makes sense.
Absolutely. As above, so below. Yep. As within, so without.
Okay. So Lilith says she really likes dragonflies. So she's like, why is she acting like this? She really likes dragonflies. So like, she'll like probably think about sending some over. She's literally is a character. So she's like, I think I'm just gonna like send dragonflies to people because I really like dragonflies, and she's being valet on purpose. So yeah, that's.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
so yeah. So Lilith has no problem sending stuff to everybody. She's like, Lilith is like, she has millions upon billions of fairies roaming the earth. And she looks at Isis and she's like, not a big girl for me. I can do all this. I have fairies. And Osiris is like, and she's like, well, yeah, I got Osiris. And they're like having a debate now because Isis has Osiris, but Lilith has the entire fairy kingdom.
Wow.
So Lilith is like,
that's funny. That's funny. Wow.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they send because they both send completely different signs.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, cool.
Well, I'm feeling complete. How about you? Yep. And how about Isis and Lilith?
Yeah, they're cool.
Okay.
They said they're going to go head out to some beach now, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess the different vibrational beings have their own way, but they're showing me it's not an earth beach. It's literally a vibrational wave out in the cosmos. And what it is, they call it the beach, but it's a vibrational wave of light. And they go, that's just not fair. So they're showing me this vibrational wave of light that comes in. And so they're going to go play and they're calling it the beach because they're being cool. That's not fair.
That's cool.
And they say, Lilith says, just to put it out there, the solar flash is happening constantly. It has been happening constantly. It's just like, and she goes, the beach brings it up because there are people that are on the beach that see the waves, that see the lights, that see the solar influxes. She goes, Lilith says that's been going on since before she was here. It's just if you're by the beach, you can see the waves, you can feel the waves. If you're out in the parking lot, you're not going to be of the waves. Right. So Lilith says that is the synopsis of mankind. There's some people out in the parking lot. There's some people actually by the water saying, oh, look, there's a solar flash coming. Lilith says, no, it's always been coming.
Wow.
It's just, there's more awareness of the solar flash.
Wow.
And that's the difference.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool.
Go play in the water.
And the light.
And go play in the light.
That's great.
So that's what brought that on, as you were telling me about that. And then Lilith, because they're talkers. Lilith wanted to explain that. So, okay. Are you guys done? They're done.
Okay. Let me just share the screen one more time so we can have a completion point here. So, Carol, thank you so much for sharing your gift with us.
Look, that's her.
Yes.
No, I know that sounds stupid, but that's really what she looks like.
Yes.
I know. I'm just not here.
That I was of all the pictures of Isis that you can find, I was inspired to choose this one.
Yeah, that's her. Yep. You must have been inspired because that's her.
Yep. That's fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this to a close.
All righty.
And I'm excited to see everyone at the support circle that we're having this month. And honestly, my mind is like so far out that I can't even land on what that date is, but the notifications will be coming through the newsletter. So
yeah, it's something about talking with Isis and Lilith that just takes you out of this time and space.
It does. It really does. So
all right.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I know it's always an honor being with you.
It is. We have such a connection when we get together.
Yeah, and it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, much blessings, and look out for those signs.
Will do. Thanks.
All righty. Bye-bye.